This week, the UAE is observing two important historic dates in their annual calendar. Now, allow me to bring you this special edition and what makes it even more special for the expatriates working here in the United Arab Emirates. Now, wherever you are watching us from, welcome to LTS Let's Talk Stuff episode number 14, and we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our videos, comment and share, and we don't mind hearing your feedback. Now, let me just get you straight to the agenda of the day. As we observe the commemoration day and celebrate the United Arab Emirates National Day, allow me to tell you what really works here. And as they say it from this part of the world, Assalamu alaikum. Now, to avoid assumption, let me enlighten you briefly about this wonderful and amazing country, the United Arab Emirates. Now, exactly 50 years ago, leaders of the 6 Emirates of Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Al Quwain, Fujairah and Ajman came together in Dubai to form the world's first Arab Federation. Now, the 7th Emirate, Ras Al Khaimah, joined the alliance 3 months later in 1972, officially establishing the modern-day United Arab Emirates. The unification of the United Arab Emirates independent has allowed the nation to tap into its natural resources, transforming the newly established country over past half century. Now, to mark the unity of the 7 Emirates and the declaration of the United Arab Emirates, the flag of the UAE as we know it today was raised, and the first president of UAE was selected, His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, who was the first Emir of Abu Dhabi. Today, the UAE is recognized as a powerful and an influential nation with flourishing economy, oil reserves, ample tourists, and some of the tallest and beautiful buildings in the world. However, all the citizens of the UAE acknowledge that the power they possess today exists only because the 7 Emirates decided to unite in 1971. people might not be very conversant about the United Arab Emirates, but allow me to just bring you 5 fun facts about UAE before I get to why expatriates call this place home, away from home. Fun fact number 1, dates for all. The UAE has over 40 million date palms across the Emirates. Believe you me, the literacy level in this place is so high, is at a record of 93%. And this part of the world is purely a desert land, and the country has no rivers. The UAE is a global village with around 200 nationalities existing peacefully, coexisting harmoniously in United Arab Emirates. And you can add a little oil. It has the 6th largest oil reserves in the world. How about working in the UAE? Let me give you 7 tips for working abroad, as we say here in United Arab Emirates. 1, your visa and your passport. Employees working in the United Arab Emirates must have a valid passport. And we say valid. It must be valid because there is no shortcut in UAE. And the work visa, which your employer may be able to arrange, should also be valid. Otherwise, forget about it. The working hours in UAE, as directed by the Ministry of Human Resource and Immigrarization, is typically 48 hours per week. Remuneration. Now, one of the big attractions about working in the United Arab Emirates is its tax system. Now, the federal government does not charge income tax on salaries for those working in UAE, but there are some taxes on services and goods, and the tax year runs from 1st of January to 31st of December. An interesting fact, health and safety. Now, with so many private and public hospitals, there is a plethora of excellent healthcare facilities across the United Arab Emirates. That means you will always find a healthcare facility and you will always be treated. In fact, all the expatriates working in UAE are under a health insurance or a medical cover. I'm so excited on this 50th celebration of the United Arab Emirates. Now, if you've never been here, something to take note on health and safety. In the month of August, during summer, the average temperature might rise to a high of 40 degrees Celsius. That's about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and the UV levels are much higher than in other countries across the globe. That means hydration and sun protection are vital for you to take care of your health and safety. Now, safety is very paramount in UAE, and while Dubai is more liberal than other locations in the United Arab Emirates, every citizen, every expatriate who lives and works in the Emirates always abides by the stringent laws, and I can tell you for a fact, people here obey the law. That is why you find even at 12 midnight, 3 a.m. in the morning, you will hear kids outside playing, having fun. Why? Because there is no such a place that is so peaceful, so secure than the United Arab Emirates. If you don't believe me, take a trip and come to UAE and you will attest to what I am saying. The culture. UAE has a rich culture that celebrates both traditional ways of life and multicultural influences. Now, with 95% of the population belonging to the religion of Islam, the official language here is Arabic. Now, Dubai in particular enjoys a thriving and a cosmopolitan culture that balances hard work with social events, lively nightlife, and luxury shopping, and a wealth of outdoor and indoor activities for those who are working in UAE. Something interesting about United Arab Emirates is about the community. Now, take note of this. There are over 200 different nationalities in the United Arab Emirates. This is one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world. That purely tells you the diversity becomes the strength of all the working workforce in the UAE. Enjoy the amazing transformation of UAE with before and after transformation over the past 50 years, and I can attest the short time you will see magical differences from infrastructure to healthcare, not to mention the increase of the number of expatriates working in UAE that contribute not only to the success of this beautiful country, but also becoming a home for the millions of expatriates working here in UAE. It's such commitment by the great leaders of this amazing country that has created an amazing home for the expatriates working here, calling it their second home. This is a little bit about what was then and what is now. Enjoy the transformation. This week on the Simple Truth of the Week, allow me to quote the famous word of His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the ruler of the Emirate of Abu Dhabi, and I quote what he said: "Past years have emphasized the importance of the union as a vital necessity for providing a better life for our people, for ensuring stability in the country, and for realizing the hopes of the people for progress, dignity, and prosperity." Many thanks for watching and being part of Let's Talk Stuff on this episode number 14, which was a special edition in much of the appreciation and recognition on this 50th anniversary of the United Arab Emirates. Now, do not forget to like, share, comment, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any feedback or experience you want to share with us, again, don't forget to drop it down on the handles that are running down on your screen. And we invite you, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notification of our weekly video updates. And as we say it every single week, here in LTS, that means Let's Talk Staff, remember, the most highly valued asset of any successful company is the staff. So, anytime you are looking for an opportunity to enjoy all the benefits and the beautiful working environment in a country that takes care of the employees and the employers, I bet United Arab Emirates is the place to be. Until next week, we say see you, and to all the lovely people living in the United Arab Emirates and the locals, the origins of this place, congratulations on the 50th anniversary of the Union. And from us, until next week, salute.